Sometimes in life, everything is taken away from you, and all you're left being able to do is just to pray. I think any good story or any good experience has a climax and a resolution. And for me, the climax of the trip was when our boat just about flipped over trying to navigate a difficult section of the Amazon. That was kind of a turning point for me in understanding that some of the images that I wanted to get just couldn't be taken. But what filled the place of that ambition was a new understanding that you just can't go there, and that the change of plans is the story. It's the actual journey of going to these places and trying.
We've come upriver about an hour, and we're trying to get to an indigenous village. We've been told that perhaps we can access and walk to an indigenous village going this way. We have some people guiding us, so we're just going to head down this way and see what happens.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Okay.
Even though this is an area where outsiders have been able to come in before, it kind of gave me a flavor of what the people live like. And so even though we're here, we still know that there's many tribes that live way on up north in that area that we just can't get to. If you go back too much further, a few miles back there, you get into areas that are really dangerous for Americans to go.
As our time in the Amazon was coming to a close, I thought about all the challenges, the illnesses, and the emotional and spiritual strain that we had to endure. But for the most part, it wasn't as hard as it could have been. Perhaps what will be harder in the days to come is whether I'll be faithful to pray for the people here.
And you know, as Americans, we've been blessed in just phenomenal ways. A freedom of religion, with wealth, with choices that many people around the world do not have. And so I want to challenge you to ask, how can you make a sacrifice to make the Great Commission real to people throughout South America? Maybe it will require a sacrifice of time. Maybe you need to get on your knees more often and longer and pray for the indigenous peoples of South America.
51, 52 years ago, when Nate Saint and the guys that gave their lives to try to reach the Wadani, when they died, it really raised up a host of prayer warriors that began to pray for the Wadani. And today we have many Wadani believers. There is power when God's people pray. We can go to the Southern Shuar and we can tell them about Jesus Christ. But many of these people groups, we have not figured out God's way of how to get to them yet with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Would you join me in praying that God would show us how the flow of His truth in the gospel that we need for faith in Jesus Christ could flow where these people live, all over the Amazon basin?
As a photographer, I got into this because I am passionate about the idea that images could communicate something to people in a far different way of life, what's happening in a different place and how they can be involved. And so through the photographs, that's my prayer, is that as I've developed a burden through real experiences for the Shuar and all the other people of the Amazon Basin, that to the degree that you're able to experience that as well through the images and the audio, I pray that you would develop a heart for those people as well, and that you would pray.